new year. Now, in logistics and especially ocean freight, demand ramps up just before Chinese New Year and rates tend to go up. And then things tend to go back to normal after the new year. So shippers, when they're negotiating new rates, which actually many of the shippers do in the first quarter or the first part of the second quarter of the year, they need to plan their timings around this to make sure that those rate hikes don't affect their longer term rates for the next agreement. So the timing of the Lunar New Year is based on the moon cycles, and it tends to be end of Jan or February. And then we have the other New Year, which starts on the 1st of January every time. And we could say that each of us starts a new year on our birthdays. Happy birthday. So a new year tends to be the time that we decide to start something new, the time that we decide we will make a change, we will do things differently. And many of us even wait until a new year before we start. And we call those New Year's resolutions. And it's a really interesting topic because, first of all, why wait? If in October you know you want to change something, why wait until the 1st of January? And the other thing is that most of us, when we want to change something, we focus on changing our behavior and our actions. And we use what we call our willpower. And the will is actually one of our 6 mental muscles. So we use the will to change that behavior and those actions with the intention of getting a different result and with the intention of maybe achieving a particular goal. Now, of course, you've got to change your behavior and you've got to change your actions to change something, because unless you do, nothing will actually change. However, using your will to do it is not going to work. That's really why the gyms in January are full and not anymore so much in February and March. And that's why after a few weeks, no matter what it is we started, we give up. We go back to how things were and we say, oh, well, we'll try again later. So why is that? Well, our actions and our behaviors are determined and controlled by our conditioning, our beliefs, and on how we see ourselves. So what we really need to change is that. We need to change our conditioning or programming, our beliefs of what we think is and isn't possible, and our self-image. Because after all, really, you cannot achieve beyond what you believe, and you definitely cannot outperform your self-image. So in my coaching, that is exactly what we work on. We get you to believe, we align your programming and your self-image with what you want. And then your actions and behavior will sort of automatically start to follow. And that is way less stressful and it takes way less effort. So in fact, it becomes quite easy and quite effortless. Now, one example I always give is someone who wants to get maybe fitter and healthier. Now, if they see themselves as someone who needs to maybe lose weight, for instance, then you see yourself as an overweight person. If you see yourself as someone with, for instance, high blood pressure or stressed with unhealthy eating habits, then ultimately that is what your result is going to be, because that's how you see yourself. Now, even if for a little while things are better, you are maybe fitter, you are healthier, at some point you'll revert back to how you were. And most of us have experienced that probably across a number of elements and topics in our lives, right? Now, the thing is that if you see yourself as a fit and healthy person, if you see yourself, if your self-image is that of a fit and healthy person, you'll then take the actions and behave like a fit and healthy person. So you'll consistently exercise, you'll consistently eat well, you'll consistently de-stress. Maybe you'll take the stairs instead of the lift or elevator. You'll buy healthy food when you go to the shops instead of junk, and you'll probably skip Mackie D's most of the time. Now, your results are in direct relation to who you are, not with what you want. And the difficulty lies in what we call our knowing-doing gap. So we know we shouldn't do something. It doesn't serve our purpose doing it, but we still do it. And, we know we should be doing something to get the results that we want, but we're not doing it. So understanding that and understanding and then applying the techniques to close that knowing-doing gap is actually what I help my clients to do. So basically, our thoughts create our feelings and conditioning our habits. We call that paradigms. So your thoughts create your paradigms. Now, I always call them pesky paradigms, rule the roost. Right? They are responsible for our behavior and for our actions. And actually, 98% of what we do is automatic. We are on autopilot 98% of the day. Just think back to, the last 24 hours. How much of that did you actually consciously do? What actions did you consciously take? Most of it will have been sort of automatic. Now, your paradigms dictate your actions, and then your action causes a reaction that's based on the law of cause and effect. And it's that reaction that we call our result, aka environment, situation, life, etc. So ultimately, your thoughts are creating your results. And to permanently change your results, you've got to change your thoughts and use your change of thoughts to reprogram your paradigms. It's a massive topic, loads to explain and to understand. But just know that you can be, do, and have anything that you want. If you can think it, it is possible for you to achieve it, because otherwise you would not have had that idea. So really all you got to do, sounds dead simple, is you've got to train yourself into becoming the person with that goal achieved. And it is probably likely that you'll need a coach or a mentor to help you with that, someone to help you, help guide you, to drag you out of your comfort zone, to get you thinking outside of your box, and to really stop you from drifting. And especially if there's something that you've wanted for a while, it's going to massively improve your life, but it's just not happening. So why wait? And really, this is what I love so much about what I do, because when my clients start to see themselves, and this happens very quickly, as the person that they want to become, then things start to change really, really very rapidly. So if that's something you want to do for you, then reach out for your free session and we'll talk more about how it all works and to get you on your way to what you really want. That's it. So next week, we're going to talk about TPM, Trans-Pacific Maritime Conference in Long Beach, which takes place this time, first week in March. So in the meantime, enjoy your lunch. Bon appetit and eet smakelijk.